order. It is 6 o'clock. Ray, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First order of business is to approve the minutes of various meetings, starting with the June 27, 2011 work session.
I move we approve the minutes. Oh, wait a minute, I'm looking at the wrong one. Can't do that, let's see. This is a non-public. I move that we approve the minutes of the June 27 work session.
Second.
It's been moved by Charlie, seconded by Mike. All those in favor? Aye.
I will abstain since I was absent.
Those minutes are approved. Next, we have the June 27, 2011 regular board minutes.
I would move to approve those subject to the discussion we had about correcting who was absent, who abstained, I think, on the last board item.
Concerning the June 24 non-public minutes.
Yep. I second that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, concerning the June 24, yes.
All right, it's been moved by Mike, seconded by Charlie. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
I'll again abstain since I was absent.
And finally, we have the June 27, 2011 non-public minutes.
Move to approve those as written.
I'll second that.
It's been moved by Charlie, seconded by Ray. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Those minutes are approved. Announcements. The Select Board will meet on the following dates. Regular meetings at 6 p.m. on Monday, July 25th, 2011, and Monday, August 8th, 2011. Work review sessions prior to the regular meetings will start at 5 p.m. We'll have a work session meeting on Thursday, July 21st, 2011 at 5 p.m. All of the above meetings will be held in the Town Hall unless otherwise posted. Weather observations for the month of June are available in the Town Hall. Please note that the town is seeking interested parties as members of the Airport Committee. If interested, please contact the Town Hall for further information. We have nothing under personnel, appointments, updates. Under correspondence, we have a letter from Susan Messenger concerning Family Fun Day. And I will read that letter in its entirety. Dear Plymouth Selectboard, my name is Susan Messenger, and I am the owner of Sweet Cathy's on Main Street in Plymouth. I am writing this letter as I have several concerns regarding the closing of Main Street from the bakery to Biederman's for the community fair on July 16, 2011. I also have concerns regarding the selling of food at this event. At this time, this letter represents only my concerns. However, I have talked to a variety of business owners on Main Street who believe, as I do, that their business will be financially compromised by the closing of the street and the food that will be available to attendees. The businesses on Main Street are here 365 days a year, trying to eke out a living and cover their overhead. By taking away the ability to park on Main Street, you are severely compromising our opportunity to have customers patronize our stores. While several of the people who are putting this event together feel that the attendees at this event will more than make up for the business that we will lose, they are not accurate in this premise. The opposite is true. Most of the attendees at this fair will attend the fair and buy their food at the event as a way of helping with the fundraising efforts of the Bridge House. There will be absolutely no incentive for the attendees to patronize the local businesses. You only have to look at what happened with the Christmas parade event. What had been a very busy evening for businesses after the Christmas parade has turned into an extremely slow evening. Parade attendees travel down to the bonfire and purchase their food at the tent down at the senior center as the proceeds are given to a charity. In April, when I received a brief email regarding the possibility of this event coming to Main Street, the email stated that the road would not be closed unless all businesses were okay with the closure. To my knowledge, many of the owners, as well as myself, never received information regarding the closure and never gave their okay. The majority of the owners weren't even aware that this event was moving to Main Street until a flyer was delivered to their businesses announcing the event. Saturdays are high-traffic volume days in Plymouth. Most of us have regular Saturday customers that come to the stores and spend money. To lose one Saturday out of a short summer season will really impact my business as well as others. I would ask that you reconsider this idea and make it more palatable by not closing the street and require the food sales to be off Main Street down at the river. This will allow our regular customers to come to our stores and allow the community fair to proceed. I would appreciate it if someone on the Select Board would contact me directly regarding this matter. Sincerely yours, Susan Messenger, owner of Sweet Cathy's. This event has been approved, and a number of Main Street merchants have expressed support of the event. Ms. Messenger has also been contacted, so the event will go ahead as scheduled, with that section of Main Street being closed on Saturday the 16th. And we only ask that the businesses provide feedback, and if their sales are hurt by it, we would like to know about it, and if the opposite occurs, we would also like to get feedback on that too. Thank you. Okay, moving on. Under Chairman's comments, Thursday, the 28th of July, is going to be Arbor Day in Plymouth, and we will have two trees planted on Main Street, and we will also have a representative of the Arbor Day Foundation speaking at that tree planting event, and the time will be announced once we get that firmed up. Select Board agendas and minutes of our regular meetings will be posted on the town's website, starting with the July meetings to coincide with the beginning of the new fiscal year. We have no approved purchase orders. Under new purchase orders, Peter?
Good evening.
Good evening.
As the board knows, I'm sure that at the Hitchner property we have usable material, which is broken asphalt, cement, and rock all mixed together. And my proposal is, as I've done last year, is to crush all that and use it on the back roads, on the dirt roads. We had positive feedback from what we've done. The back roads are in fairly good shape. We just need more material, and I would just like to crush most of the remaining pile. Although the purchase order is for 5,000 yards, I'm not absolutely positive that there's 5,000 there. So the purchase order should not exceed the $20,000 that I'm expecting.
Any questions for Peter on that one?
Do we have a PO?
Yes.
I'll move that we approve the purchase order as presented.
Second.
It's been moved by Ray and seconded by Charlie that we approve the purchase order to Portable Crushing LLC in an amount not to exceed $20,000. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? That purchase order is approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter.
Next, we have committee reports. Charlie?
So far, the school board hasn't set a meeting for July. I think it's July and August. They're kind of floating meeting date, so I expect by Wednesday I should know if they've set one. And we want to make at that meeting, we want to make some comments about their, the collar money, how much of it do they intend to use to, if any, to rehire people that they've laid off. And there's another $400,000 in unspent bond money for the renovation that I think they're in the process of doing that right now, so maybe a moot point by the time we come around. But I have nothing to report because there's been nothing going on at this point in time.
Right?
To reiterate what we started going around earlier during our work session at the Thursday planning board meeting, the significant item there was the approval by the planning board of the elderly housing project on Fairgrounds Road. It's a very well laid out concept, and I think it's going to be a good addition for the town of Plymouth. I also attended this past Friday the regular monthly meeting of the Plymouth Regional Chamber of Commerce, and two noteworthy events. Number one, they did finalize their operating plans and their associated budget to accomplish those plans for the next upcoming year. Plymouth's done a great job, the Chamber's done a great job over the past year, and if they can accomplish nearly as much as they did in the past year, and particularly with the growth and their outreach to the adjacent chambers, they continue to have outreach efforts for, as an example, Waterville Valley. They've got a great action plan. I think they're bringing a great deal of improvements to the town. I would also point out that they continue to remain interested in what's going to be happening with some of the proposed facility additions that we may be moving forward on here at the select board level in regards to police and fire facilities. I also attended the meeting of the Business and Industry Association roundtable discussion that was held on Monday, June 20th at New Hampshire Electric Co-op's headquarters on Highland Street. I came away with a couple of takeaways from that discussion. This is an event that they do every year. They go to 7 locations around the state, and Plymouth is typically the location in which they try to do it for the entire region. It's not just Plymouth, it's also for the region around there. So there were representatives from a number of other towns that were there. I had both my town hat on, plus I was also there as one of the representatives from the Grafton County Economic Development Council. Coming back to those two key takeaways again, the first one was that they're very concerned about the legislative actions. The businesses, local businesses, were very concerned about the legislative actions either that were taken or weren't taken, and the impacts that they're going to have on the economics within the communities, in particular the way things tend to be pushed down lately from federal to state, state to town, and what it's going to mean on taxes that they may have levied against them. So the tax word really came up to a very high level. Also, there was a fair amount of discussion that ensued around the proposed Northern Pass project and the views that were expressed about the impacts that could have on the tourist industries, and the fact that every one of the towns that was there had taken action to indicate that they were in opposition to the project. So it was an interesting discussion. I did receive an invitation. I continue to be a regular member of White Mountain Gateway Economic Development Corporation, as well as the forwarding that I got from the town administrator, Paul, where he had been contacted, where they were having their annual meeting. Again, that was on June 27th while I was out of town. I anticipate seeing the brief minutes of that meeting sometime in the next few days, and I'll share that. I am continuing as a regular member I know we've had discussions about whether or not it's a value for the town of Plymouth to actually be a member of that, but as long as I'm in the room, I'm not sure we need to hit our budget with that. So that's just my personal view on that.
What is that?
It's White Mountain Economic Gateway. It's an organization that was started by New Hampshire Electric Co-op and a lot of other key businesses about 9 years ago, with a focus of trying to get on-the-ground real estate occurring. The belief was back then that there was a lot of key players that were participating in economic development efforts, but the missing component was thought to be, we just don't have it, build it and they will come. So the co-op stepped up and created this organization, and it led to what you see up there is Boulder Point. The initial development up there came out of the leadership of this effort, and they've been asking what's next. And the initial follow-on to Boulder Point was looking for an incubator that was either going to be here, and they were also talking about up in Littleton. And what has occurred since then is the effort where the Grafton County Economic Development Council has taken a more front-runner role in making that happen. And White Mountain Gateway is still very much interested, but they've kind of taken a back seat in terms of leadership efforts on that initiative.
And I don't have anything to report. My meetings are coming up, I guess.
Okay, and I have nothing to report.
Yeah.
So,
I almost left out one thing, only because I didn't make a note here to do that. It's in my planner. I did attend this past Friday the hearing that the New Hampshire Site Evaluation Committee held on the appeals for the Groton Wind Farm project. And there were essentially 6 elements that they had in front of them. 9 of the members of the Site Evaluation Committee were present. It was actually chaired by the chair of the PUC, Mr. Getz, did chair it again. The actual major item that took up the better part of the 2.5-hour hearings was an appeal from the applicant itself asking for clarification on whether or not they actually had to have their, let's just say, a proposed contract in place to undertake some of the environmental concerns, or if they just had to have the application submitted to the appropriate authorities. And they have since already done that, and the committee reviewed their minutes, and it became clear that it was not their intent that they actually have to have all the approvals. They just had to have the process underway. So they did clarify that. There were 5 other appeals that ranged all the way from asking for a reversal of the earlier decisions to some of the specifics of the project. And they made it, that the Site Evaluation Committee made it very clear, and we'd actually discussed this when we were thinking about perhaps filing an appeal, that if you don't have any new information, or if you can't point out that there was a glaring error, you can't ask for a review on the same information. And that's essentially what the other 5 came down to. So they stepped through that to make sure it was very clear that there was no information. Essentially, people were saying the same thing as before, just asking for another decision based on the same information. So they denied all the other 5.
all right, so it's probably going to go forward then, right?
Going forward, yeah.
But do we have, is there
Yes, the
official
construction date was spoken to as September to start.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, we have no new business, no other business, and no unfinished business. Is there any comment from the public? No public comment? And then I would ask for a motion to go into a non-public session in accordance with RSA 91-A:3, 2, parentheses A through C, the personnel, union negotiations, and reputation.
So moved.
Been moved by Charlie, seconded by Mike. All those in favor? Aye.
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 We are now in non-public session.
My finger's hanging out there, I could be in
20
trouble.
minutes.
Thanks for coming, sorry this.
Yeah, thank you.
Boring.
You know, Val obviously knew you were coming, but did we catch your name?
I'm Brianne.
Okay.
Hi. I'm interning with Record Enterprise for the summer. Can I get everyone's name, actually? I don't know.
Sure.
You could probably come up and write, just take them down from our name.
Wait,
sheet.
I'll get her agenda out.
Yeah.
Bree, where are you an intern from?
I'm from Plymouth, actually. I go to UNH during the year, but I'm back for the summer.
What's that thing say? It's just Ray, forget the William part.
Here you go.
Just Ray Gosney.